What the fuck? The Fountain, released in 2006 and is directed by Darren Aronofsky, who is behind such films as Requiem for a Dream, The Wrestler, The Fighter, Black Swan, and Mother! The film stars Hugh Jackman, Rachel Weisz, and Ellen Burstyn. Hugh Jackman plays Dr. Tom Creo, who is a neurosurgeon who is studying a way to cure brain cancer. And his main motivation behind this is his dying wife Izzy of brain cancer, played by Rachel Weisz. Izzy, however, knows that there is no hope for her, so she implores Tom to spend the last of her days together. And in her final days, she has written a book entitled The Fountain that is about a conquistador who is on the search for the Tree of Life. Plus, there is a third story period that takes place centuries in the future, where Tom is now a space traveler trying to reach a dying star before it goes supernova, while Izzy, who is now a tree, accompanies him. Did you get all that? Because I ain't repeating it. Yeah, me just talking about the synopsis of this movie doesn't make it more clear than when it was written down on paper. All that I can say is that this movie spoke to me. Like, at my core. This is just a beautiful time lapse of two characters that love each other so much, and who are dedicated to stay with each other through the good times, of course, but then also the hard times, say like being diagnosed with cancer. And we have these two characters together during the Spanish Inquisition, during current day, and then also a futuristic sci-fi time period. All three of these timelines are interwoven with each other beautifully. And you're constantly asking yourself, okay, well, what's the real time and what's like a flashback or flash forward? It keeps you guessing. This film is a great conversation starter. I absolutely love it. So doing research on this film, I found that the original two cast members of the film were supposed to be Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett, which, two fantastic actors, but I do not see them in these roles. I love that we got two, at the time, not mainstream actors for this film. Sure, Hugh Jackman was known as Wolverine, but he never really branched out past the X-Men series until this movie. And Rachel Weisz you can always find in those small, independent films, and she's always great in them. But their chemistry with each other is amazing here. You can feel Tom's pain just looking at Izzy, because he knows that he is powerless to save her, and you can tell that it's just eating him inside. And Weisz is able to convey fear and hope and acceptance beautifully in her performance. And those are the underlying emotions in this film that they just keep hitting you over the head with. At times, it got a little much, but still very powerful. This film is about accepting your own mortality, to accept one day that your time will come and you will die. It's a hard subject to deal with, especially when you pop in a movie just to, escape from the troubles and hardships of everyday life, and then you're confronted with, oh hey, by the way, here's death. Watch it. But sometimes watching a movie or listening to a story that makes you confront the idea of passing on, at times kind of makes you feel at peace a little bit. Knowing that that is just a part of life that everyone goes through, and maybe it'll motivate you to start doing more and living your life more and being with people that you love. And it's typical of director Aronofsky to make you think in one of his movies. Most of the time in his films, or at least some events in his films, they'll just make you go, what the hell was that? Oh, what the hell just happened? What is going on? And I love it. I love movies that make you think and theorize about what happened. I love movies where you can go and talk to a friend and you can say, hey, this is how I interpret it. How did you interpret it? And it could be something totally different. And then you start conversing as to why you think so. A movie that gets people talking to each other and debating, civilized. What a concept! Plus, I'm also a sucker for nonlinear structure, and that's basically when a story is told not in chronological order. I consider Christopher Nolan to be the master of that type of storytelling, but Darren Aronofsky, he's right up there with him. Now, I will tell you up front, this movie is not gonna be for everyone. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. All I will say is try not to overanalyze the storytelling. Instead, just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the way the filmmakers wanted to unveil the story to you. And also take joy in the beauty of these visual effects, particularly in the futuristic sci-fi world. Tom is in a spaceship that is basically an air bubble with a dying tree. What did he just say? Yes, I'm not kidding. It's just an air bubble, but you also see a dying star in the background and billions of stars past that. It's just a really cool idea that I've never seen in a sci-fi film before. Guys, in the end, The Fountain was a fascinating emotional journey for me. There were times when I was in awe, when I was smiling, when I was in pain, and there were several times when my eyes started to water up just with the way that this film was presenting the idea of death to you. Death is the ultimate villain. He always wins. But this movie, I believe, is trying to perceive death as more of a motivator than a predator who's hunting you. It pushes Tom to work that much harder to save his wife, and it also pushes Izzy to loving Tom that much more. And both Jackman and Weisz give stellar performances that I think were Oscar-worthy. Just go into this movie with an open mind. It's not going to be for everyone. Just prepare yourself for a heavy dose of reality. Death is probably the biggest fear that the majority of people have because what? We're on this earth for maybe 100 years if we do everything right, and then just to think that this earth is going to go on for millions and billions of years after that. It can be very scary to think about, but it's up to you to realize that knowing that you're here for 100 years out of those million years past that makes you very special. And how much of a 1 out of a million chance it was for you to be born and living in this world. Sorry this isn't fun, goofy Caleb Day on Caleb Watches Movies, but that's what this film does to you. It gets you thinking about the future, and I definitely recommend you checking this out if you haven't already. You know what? I haven't done this in a long time, and this film deserves it. I'm giving The Fountain 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
All right, let's get it.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm watching next. Let's take a look. Okay, we'll go from this movie to this one. Beer Fest! Has there ever been a bigger leap from one film to another? Let's talk about death and serious and fear, and then let's talk about just silly, stupid poop humor with a lot of beer. I absolutely love this movie. This just reminds me of the good times that I used to have in high school with all my friends, just kind of hanging out. We went to see this movie, just so much beer drinking. Of course, to a high schooler, that's like, yeah, that's the life. Ah, who am I kidding? That's still the life for me. I haven't seen it in so long, so let's watch it for next time. So everyone, have you seen The Fountain? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. And make sure you stay tuned for my Journey to Episode 100 and Beyond series, where from episode 71 to 100, I'm going to be going over a 30 movies a day listing. All of these will be released leading up to episode 100, so please stay tuned for that. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Beer Fest! So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.